Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the Yarn and Ewe Girl Podcast. I'm Janine, your host, also known as the Yarn and Ewe Girl. And thank you so much for coming over and checking out my channel. I wanted to say welcome to all my new subscribers. I really truly appreciate your guys' support, and welcome back to all my returning viewers. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are coming to spend a little bit of time with me. I really enjoy spending time with you. And today is Friday, September 1st, so we are going to kick off our gift-along, knit-along today, the GALKAL, if you will. And so if you're going to be participating in the gift-along, knit-along, that starts today. It can be anything you want to knit or crochet, as long as it's for somebody else and for one of the upcoming holidays. I'm doing this as sort of a inspiration for me to help keep me accountable for my knitting gifts this season, because we are getting into the season where we start knitting and crocheting for other people. And so I really want to I always have ideas for, making people gifts, but usually I wait until the very last minute. And then I'm stressing out on Christmas Eve and trying to finish up projects. So I don't want to do that this year. So I thought if we started a knit along here, that we maybe could keep each other accountable. And so anything counts as long as you're knitting it for somebody else. And whips are allowed. So I know I have a couple projects that are sitting that I started a while back that I planned as gifts for people, but they're still sitting. So I'm hoping to pick some of those up again and get started on those and finish them up. So anything counts. Please go over and join. There'll be a thread in the Ravelry group, which is the Yarn and Ewe Girl Podcast group under the Ravelry tab, groups. And there'll be a chatter thread and a finished objects thread. And yeah, I have prizes already. I do have one skein of sock yarn that I showed on the last episode, and a pattern and some beads to go with it's like a sock kit. And I picked up some really yummy ginger peach tea that I'm going to throw in with one of the gifts. And I'm coming up with some other things. So the CAL goes through the December 24th. So any holiday, can be not just for Christmas, can be for any holiday. If you celebrate a different holiday, that's great. Just as long as you're knitting or crocheting something for somebody else. That's what we want. So that starts today. Yay! And I have a couple of things one thing in particular that I'm working on that I started today that will be one of those gift-along, knit-along projects. So anyway, let's see. What else? Did I tell you where to find me? Yes, I think I did. Yarn and Ewe Girl on Ravelry, Yarn and Ewe on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and the website, which is yarnandewe.com, just in case I forgot to say, because I've kind of done this now 4 or 5 times because I didn't like the way I started before. So hopefully that got in there, but if not, there it is again, just in case. So we're going to talk today. I have some finished objects to show you guys. I have some works in progress, a little bit of new design stuff, pretty brand new design stuff I'm working on that I can show you guys. But, and then I don't have a lot of acquisitions. I don't think I have any acquisitions, actually. That's actually quite good of me. I think I showed you guys everything I got last time with all the knit picks stuff that I went crazy on. So let's just get started. My first finished object is a pair of socks. I finished 2 in August, actually, which is really huge for me. I'm lucky if I can get 1 pair of socks done in a month. But I finished 2. So this is my second pair of for the month of August. I think last podcast I showed you my first pair, but I finished my Hermione's Everyday sock in the sorted colorway by YarnDye-it. It is, this is the tag. It's in her Beastly sock yarn, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. The colorway is sorted, and basically it's the house colors, the Harry Potter house colors. So I thought Hermione's everyday socks would work perfect with these. Plus, I totally stole this from somebody else. Dream in Fiber, I think, was doing a pair of socks in the same colorway in her Hermione's everyday pattern, and so I was completely stealing it from her. So I liked them so much, so I wanted to make myself a pair. They're really, really great. I love this pattern. I really like the heel a lot on this one. So I went ahead and did the heel flap and gusset. I did not do these two at a time. I did them separate, and it's worked from the cuff down. I altered the pattern a little bit by doing a twisted 1x1 rib here. But that's pretty much it. I followed it spot on for the heel as far as however many repeats and how many stitches to pick up. And it turned out really nice. I love her heel flap edge, how she does this little garter ridge here, because it makes it super easy to pick up the stitches. And she had a video on Instagram a while back that kind of showed how she picked up the stitches, and it was very cool. And so there's no weird, sometimes when you pick up the loop on the end of your sock yarn and then you want to knit through the back loop to make it tighter and it's all twisted. This has none of that, and it's just like perfect edge here. I did cut the yarn, so I got to here and started the flap, and then when I did the heel turn, I ended up on the Gryffindor color, which I started to do, but then I realized what was going to happen was I was going to have the Gryffindor color, like the yellow. You can kind of see it right there. There's just the beginning of the yellow. It would have gone yellow, and it would have been really close to the Hufflepuff color, and then it would have messed up the striping here. So I cut the yarn here and pulled until I got to the Slytherin color, or the neutral color between Hufflepuff and Slytherin, and I started using that for my pickup stitches on the other side. So then this side just has that neutral color where I picked up, but then that made it more continuous for the sock to remain in the same pattern that I started with. So I really liked how this turned out. I did that with both of them. This side, the heel flap ended up being a little bit like I was off just a little bit on the way I set up the colors, but they're pretty close. My striping and everything is really, really close. I mean, that's almost perfect. So it's just a little different on this one. You can see my heel turn has a little bit more of the neutral in it, and then I've got the red here and that red strip right till I get to the where I joined again. But other than that, they were really perfect. So I liked how these turned out. I think actually they fit me really well, but they're not really my coloring. I mean, obviously I love the Harry Potter color, but they kind of look like boy socks to me, the striping, for whatever reason. I feel like that, so I'm giving these to my son. They're really too big for his feet, but he doesn't care because I made so this is for my younger son, Dylan. He likes fun socks, and he likes socks that he can like pull all the way up to his calf. So these ones are a little bit big, like the heel comes up a little bit on the back of his leg. Not too bad, but he's going to wear it, like he wants these, and he was really excited to have them. So I'm going to give them to him, even though they don't really fit him very well. But that way I made a pair of socks for my oldest son, Jordan, and now Dylan will have a pair too. But again, they're big, but I think he'll grow into them, no problem. I mean, boys have big feet, right? He'll be in these in no time, and they'll be fitting perfect. So I think that'll be great. Plus, you guys, that is my 12th pair for the year. That's huge. I think last year I knit like 5 pairs of socks. So this year is totally all about the socks for me. For whatever reason, I've been really on back on the sock kick, which is good. I needed a couple new pairs, so it was nice to be able to do the box of socks. So I have my 12 pairs. So I'm going to roll these guys up and stick them in my box. Show you guys. And I haven't yet taken a picture and entered these in, but if you guys don't know, Kristen of the Volenvine Yarns and the YarnGasm podcast does this annual box of socks cal where you're supposed to knit 12 socks, put them in a box so that at the beginning of the next year you have 12 brand new pairs of socks to wear for that year. So now not all of these are for me. This is Jordan's pair, and then this will now be Dylan's pair, but the rest of them are for me and they fit me great, and I'm super excited. So having 12 pairs of socks done is great. Plus, I'm also participating in a couple other sock knit-alongs, the monthly one with the Grocery Girls and also the Naughty Knitwits. And then I think the Yarn Hoarder has a Free All the House Elves sock knit-along going on as well. So I've been entering them into that also. So, and that's a year-long one, I think, as well. So I've gone back and entered in all the new ones, or all the old ones from this year that I did, because I didn't know about that knit-along until recently. So that's another knit-along if you're doing socks. But I am going to continue to try to do one pair of socks a month until the end of the year. So, but for now, I have my box done, and it's all crammed, chock-a-block full, whatever you want to say, of socks. And they are not coming out. It's pretty tight in there. Anyway, so that is my 12th pair of socks. And I do have a couple other pairs on the needles that I will show you guys in my works in progress at brand new starts. So, because obviously it's September 1st, so I had to wait and start socks, today. So I have one more finished object, and I'm really happy to be done with this one. This is the lace beret I was doing for my mother-in-law. No, my mother-in-law, my sister's mother-in-law. So I told you guys she gave me the yarn and asked me to make her a beret. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. That was similar to another lace beret that she had. So this is the leftover of the yarn that I have. And it was Cascade Yarns Kids Sept Noir, which I guess is discontinued. I just looked it up on Ravelry because I decided I was going to write up the lace pattern, or write up the pattern for the beret in case anybody else wants to make a lace beret as well. I didn't see that there were a lot of lace hat patterns on Ravelry, so I thought, well, I'll just make it as a free pattern. So that's in the process. It's all been written up. Come on, where's my English? Let's speak good. And just kidding. Anyway, it's all written up, and I have a friend that I saw today who is starting to do some tech editing, and she said that she'd take a look at it for me, and I'll probably gift her something in exchange for that. So anyway, that's that. So this is the hat that I knit. And like I said, I based it off of another hat. Now mine ended up being a little more volume in the crown than the other hat. And I think I figured out why, but I'm not going to redo it. Let me show you the other hat. This is the other hat. So it's more flat, and I think what they did, and I didn't notice this at the time, but I think what they did was decrease every round. Instead, I decreased every other round when I started doing the crown, and so I ended up with a little more volume. But I think it's cute, and I think it's not too much different than what she was asking for. It's very similar to this one. It's just, like I said, a little bit more volume, but I'm hoping she'll like it. I was telling my sister I'm super stressed out about giving it to her because I don't want, it's another reason why I don't knit like custom stuff for people because I'm worried that they're going to not like it for whatever reason. I'm going to have put all this time in it and effort into it, and it's not going to be what they wanted. And then there'll be disappointment. And I'm a little worried about that. But my sister and assures me that her mother-in-law will like it. So it's a really easy pattern. It's just basically, just a bunch of plain stockinette knitting. But for a nice lightweight beret, you could pretty much use any lace weight yarn. It would look really good in any lace weight yarn. So I will have that up for free soon. I will let you guys know when that gets published. And this is the hat. And I was really worried about the size too, but I think the size is perfect. It'll work out great. So I'm glad to be done with that because I feel like there's a big load lifted off my shoulders having finished that project, So I feel much better about that. Anyway, I think that's all I have for finished objects this time. I do have a few works in progress, a couple new things, and then a couple old things that you guys have seen. So first off, I picked back up my breathing space sweater, and I started knitting on the sleeve. So let me get this out for you guys. Sleeves are difficult for me because I feel like the yarn gets all twisted. You know what I really should do is when you divide for the sleeves, I should just do the sleeves then because there'll be less body to get in the way. Because what happens is you turn it, and then the body gets all twisted up in the yarn and it's just like this big, crazy thing. So anyway, it's annoying, but I'm going to get these done. So I've worked on the sleeve. I finished the decreases because it's pretty loose. She only does a couple decreases. And then I'm supposed to knit in the striping pattern for like 11 inches. And then I go to the solid again. I'm a little worried that it might be too big. I put it on. I did make the 38 size because my gauge was kind of tighter and I didn't want it to be too tight, but now I'm worried that it might be a little bit too big. So we'll have to see. I'm going to get the sleeves knit. If this is too big after I blocked it out, then I'm going to undo the body and like all the way to this straight portion, or at least back a little ways, and then I might stop doing the increasing because I feel like it's a little tenty right now when I put it on, but I'm hoping that it pulls out more in length when I block it. We'll see. And then, with some leggings or something, I think it'll be really cute. And it's not supposed to be fitted, so I have to see how it goes. I really do like the colors together. I really want this sweater to be done. So I am going to be trying to focus on getting those sleeves done. But like I said, I've only done about 7 inches of the sleeve. And it's not like that should take me that long. It's just annoying. Partially because I'm using 2 colors and you're changing yarn every 2 colors. And then also because they keep getting bound up in the sweater when I do it. So, oh well. Anyway, that is my breathing space. That's by Vera Valimaki. It's in her Interpretations collection, volume 3 that she did with Joji Locatelli. And yeah, I really like this. I want to be done with it though because I really want to start my So Faded because I really love the yarn I got for that and I want to get going on it, but I don't want to have too many sweaters on the needles right now. I have this one and I have my murder and mozzarella cardigan that really just needs arms too and a collar. So I need to pick that one back up again as well, but I haven't, but I should. Anyway, so that's my breathing space and it's in my Bags by Awesome Granny bag that I love, this giant, huge bag. Yeah. So that is my first work in progress. My second work in progress is my Sizzle Pop shawl, which I'm making progress on this. I really am enjoying working on it. And for whatever reason, I stopped in the middle of a row, but That's no good, right? But I think the last time I showed it to you guys, I was here. So I haven't done a whole lot, but it's really lovely. And it'll, you know, I've been taking this one with me. I'm at the point where I can pretty much just check, you know, oh, I'm on this row. What do I have to do on this row again? And once I get going, I'm fine. And like I said, I stopped in the middle of a row, so I don't know why I did that. But the yarn is, this charcoal is String Theory in charcoal, and it's a cashmere merino nylon blend. And then this pink side is Nitty Kitty Bags in the Siberian colorway. Well, it was a kit, so it came with a gray heel, like mini, but I decided to use it for this, and it's a 75-25, I believe. So 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon. This one has little cashmere in it, so it's giving it that little extra squish. Yum. I love how this is turning out, and every time I pull it out and I'm working on it, I get compliments on the pattern, so I know it's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous shawl. I'm going to have to make another one of these, I think. It's beautiful, or another a variation of another brioche or something, because I love this. That's part of my design that I'll show you guys. I've been working on a brioche cowl, and so far I've just got a little bit. I'm kind of testing out a couple different ideas, so I'll show you guys that toward the end of my works in progress. So that's that. That's Sizzle Pop by, I cannot remember her name. Let's see. Leslie Ann Robinson, or Knit Graffiti Designs. So that's her. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous brioche shawl. A couple other podcasters I've seen do it, and the colors, everyone's stuff has turned out so beautifully. So I really, really want that. So I'm continuing to plug away on that. I'm using my Knit Picks interchangeable set on size 4. They're a wood. I don't really like these a ton. They're not making it super easy because the joins are a little sticky. And so sliding the stitches along is not as smooth going. But I decided to do wood needles because I was worried that I would have trouble with the brioche and things slipping off and missing stuff. But I'm getting to the point where I kind of am getting annoyed with the wood needle, so I might end up changing to like my ChowGoo, or I don't really like my Hiya Sharp interchangeable set. I did for a long time, but the join where the cord comes and joins with the metal piece here, they're so bent that it scrapes against my hand, the metal, and irritates my hand when I'm knitting. So they drive me a little bit crazy, so I don't use them very much anymore. And I think it just might be my cords. I need new cords. I don't know if anybody else has had that issue with some of the Hayas. I love their sharp points. I really like that part, but I don't like the wire join. I'm having a difficult time with that, so I need to either get some new ones and see if that makes a difference, or just suck it up, use something else, maybe not an interchangeable or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's that one. The next work in progress that I have, I showed you guys a little bit of last time. This is the Walt Chevron baby blanket, but I'm not making a baby blanket. However, it might end up being a little bit bigger than a baby blanket. I don't know. Again, I stopped in the middle of a row, you guys. This is not very conducive for showing. But I'm on to the second color, and then I started on so you do a little, it's a free pattern, by the way, Fiber Space Designs, I think, and it's on Ravelry as the Walt Chevron baby blanket. It's really cute. Just uses like blocks of color in these chevrons and garter section, And I'm using Knit Picks Swish Worsted, which is 100% superwash. Let's see. Yeah, 100% superwash merino. So this will be one of my colors. So I've got this squirrel heather, and the light blue one is Wonderland heather, and then I think this is honey, and a dark blue, which is marine heather. So these will be my colors mixed in with this neutral squirrel brown taupe color. And like I said, I'm doing a little bit bigger than her pattern called for, but not too much bigger, because I have, a bit of yarn, but I didn't have enough probably to make like a giant Afghan. So this will be more like a lap blanket. We'll see how it turns out. Who knows? But I'm enjoying it. I have to think a little bit with this one though, because you have to do increases on one row and decreases on the next row, and you have to do them at the right point. And if you're not thinking or paying attention, then you miscount the section, and I've been doing that quite a bit because it's not mindless necessarily. So, and I'm in certain areas, like in the garter, it's a little bit harder to read your knitting where you are to do the increases and decreases. So I've had to do quite a bit of tinking, but anyway. And it's just, I'm not in a hurry to get this done. I am slowly plugging away at it. It is kind of a nice project to do when I'm listening to my book or waiting for the kids. So that's what I'm working on there. And I'm using ChowGoo US size 8s for those. And like I said, this is Knit Picks Swish Worsted, which is actually really a nice worsted weight yarn. I really like it. And they're only 50-gram balls, but affordability wise, it's not bad. It's a pretty good deal. So I was able to get quite a bit for that. Quite a bit of bang for your buck. Let's see. The next is one of my sock patterns that I'm working on. Is really brand new, and I just started them today. But you guys have seen this yarn before. This is Ancient Arts. I always get this wrong, but I think it's Ancient Arts, and it's that frost flower color. I was doing Kandahar socks for my sister out of the Socktopus book, which I really liked the pattern, except for there were some issues with how it was coming out. The size that I chose, it wasn't written correctly, so I was having some issues with the pattern. And I had knit one whole sock and most of the second sock, but it wasn't big enough for my sister's foot. She has a huge foot. Dana, you heard me right. Your feet are ginormous. So I decided to do a foot cutout for her. So this is her foot. Let me just show you in comparison her foot and my foot sock cutout. Mine's a little more beat up, but this is my foot. And this is her foot. She's like a good 1.5 inches, or maybe a good inch longer than mine. I just feel like that's just huge. Huge difference. So I was making socks based on my foot, or close enough to my foot, and I still had made that Kandahar sock a little small for me. So it was never going to fit this big monster of foot over here. I love you, Dana. But you know your feet are big. So anyway, I decided I would rip out that pair and start a new pair for her that actually fit her. And I'm just going to do stockinette, so just vanilla. All I have right now, guys, are the little bitty toes. Just started them this morning. I had met up with some gals that we all used to meet as a knitting group here in Vancouver a long time ago. But a couple people had moved away, and things kind of, life just happened and we stopped meeting. But every once in a while, one of the gals comes back into town, Naomi, and she sends out the little email that says, "Hey, I'm here in town. Come and visit. Let's get together." So we had a little impromptu knit group this morning, and that's when I did the socks. It's hard to, get a lot of work done when you're catching up with friends. But these are done. I'm gonna do them 2 at a time so that they get done, and I'm gonna focus on these as my September socks so that they are done. I think what's gonna happen is they'll probably end up being shorties because I had the yarn split into 2. Excuse me. Sorry. One cake, obviously, this is the original first sock that I did, and so it was too short, but it had like a long leg. And then this is what's left of the other one. So I'm probably just going to knit until I run out of this yarn. And they'll end up being maybe ankle length, but she said she's fine with that. So I'm fine with that. Ankle length is good. Ankle length is good. But anyway, so it's already split. I've got them started. I'm going to make them my focus for September socks so that I have them done. And I can put these in the gift along knit along because I'm going to give them to her for Christmas. She knows I'm working on them, but I've been working on them for like a year or longer. So they'll finally be done. Yay for me. Anyway, so that is my first pair of socks too. Then I have this other pair of socks that I'm working on, and this one is one of the designs I'm kind of throwing together. And I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but all I have on this one is a toe as well. So the plan is to have some cables run up the side and then some kind of lace pattern. I won't tell you exactly what it is yet, but I have been thinking about this for a while. I've also been thinking about a name, and so I will, when things get a little bit more where you can actually see what I'm doing here, I'll tell you guys the name. But this is all I have right now. So it's just a little beard, little purple bud. This is in Lorna's Laces Shepherd Sock in the Grapevine colorway. I thought I carry this yarn in my shop, so the goal is to have these socks available as kits for people to purchase, where they get the pattern and the sock yarn together, and hopefully that will all work out. So anyway, the start of some socks. These are also these are on Hiya Sharps. See, again, even with their regular needles, look how much of a kink there is between. So this is what happens, is they'll get this kink and then the metal will start. It's very wacky. I don't know if it's just I need to heat the wire up and but I don't know. Anyway, but these are US size 1s. I think that's 2.25 millimeter. And I'm using two circular 24-inch needles, which has really been kind of hard for me because I've been doing magic loop a lot lately. And what I'm finding is I'm knitting with the wrong needle because I'm so used to doing magic loop. So, but knitting with the 2 is different. I used to do knitting with 2 circulars all the time, and it wasn't a big deal, but I'm having to get back to that kind of routine. So I'm having some trouble, and I'm keep knitting with the wrong needle, but whatever. So it's going to have, like I said, a little bit of some cabling and a little bit of lace in the middle, and we'll see how that turns out, and who knows? That should be available, though, coming up soon. Hopefully everything will go well on that. That is my sock design that I'm working on. Again, very baby stages of design right now. I have lots of ideas, and sometimes with those ideas I try things out and they don't work out as well as I was hoping, and so then I rip back, or they work out okay, but I'm not happy with the finished look. So then I rip out and try something else. So we'll see. I do have one other design that I'm kind of playing with as well, and that's the brioche one that I was telling you guys about. Let me see if I can find it. It is a 2-color brioche cowl that I just threw together a couple different yarns. But so far, this is kind of the idea that I have for it. I think I'm going to make it a smidge wider because I want to do something here in the middle with these ribs. I just think that looks too plain. But the idea, too, that I'm looking at doing is a provisional cast on for the brioche so that you'll end up grafting the 2 colors together, which might be kind of interesting to do. I haven't done that before, but I have been doing some research on how to do it. So this is baby stages again of design for a 2-color brioche cowl, and I just used a couple yarns I had around the house, but I'm also toying with the colors a little bit as well. So it may not end up being this, but this is what kind of my swatch, if you will, of design. And again, what do you guys think? I like the idea. So I like cowls a lot. I like that they don't fall off. I like the idea of a reversible type cowl so that whatever side, because sometimes when you wear cowls, they're really pretty on one side and then the other side is the wrong side, right? So it doesn't look as nice when you're wearing it if the wrong side is showing. And then sometimes, when you're twisting it around your head to get it to lay, you're getting the wrong side showing quite a bit. So I want to have both sides be pretty. So that's kind of why I thought the 2-color brioche would be a good option, because you would have a wrong side that looked really nice as well. So anyway, that's my idea. I do like it so far. I just have to come up with some better yarns, and it's done in a worsted weight. I have been I like worsted weight projects. I think there's a lot. I like fingering weight projects too, but I think that there are a lot of fingering weight things, and worsted weight projects are just super easy to get done quickly. So that's the plan, is to do something in worsted. So we'll see how that goes too. So that's what I have for knitting. This week's been kind of crazy because we started school. I'll just give you a little bit of life background right now. We started school this week on Wednesday, and on Tuesday my oldest got braces. So he's been kind of miserable, having, achy mouth and not really wanting to eat a whole lot. Hopefully things are getting a little bit better as far as that, but all I've been hearing is complaining about how school started again and oh my gosh, blah, 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 So that's been going on here in the house. Lots of stuff happening. And I am excited, though, that school started, because I feel like they need that structure. They need that school structure. I can't always give them the structure that they need. If they're at home all day long, they just constantly bothering me to get on the internet or play video games or whatever. So having school is a good thing. So I'm really excited for them to be back in school. And then my oldest started middle school, and so things are going to be a little bit more hectic as far as that goes. But it's good. Okay, so I was supposed to meet with Emily from the Anders Mill Knits podcast today, but that didn't work out because she had a family thing that she had to do, because she just lives in Wilsonville, which is really close to where I am. Well, I mean, it's like 45 minutes, but it's where my brother lives, so I go there quite often. So we were going to meet, but that didn't happen. So hopefully we'll get together next time before next time I see you guys. But she has a very lovely podcast. It's the Anders Mill Knits podcast, so you should check it out on here on YouTube. And that's pretty much all I got today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the episode. I look forward to meeting with you guys again. And don't forget to go over to the Ravelry group, check out the knit along information, and start chatting it up over there. If you've got ideas for gifts you want to do for people or things that you're thinking about doing, I would love to hear all about that. There's also a Make Yourself Known thread on the Ravelry group page. So you can, introduce yourself to the group. It's a pretty quiet group, which is fine. But anyway, all my giveaway and knit along stuff is on there. So yeah. Oh, guys, I totally forgot. I hit 700 subscribers, so I need to do a giveaway for that. So here's what I'm thinking. I have a skein of hand-dyed yarn that I did. It's not in front of me right now, but it's a one-of-a-kind, and I thought I would gift that away to one of you guys. So just for going over to the Ravelry group and kind of chatting it up, tell me actually what you're planning on making for the holiday season this year for other people. Since we're doing this old gift along, knit along thing, let's start a thread in there for the 700 subscriber giveaway. And that will be, hey, what are you making for other people for the holidays? And let me know that, and that'll enter you to win this skein of hand-dyed yarn that I did, this one-of-a-kind skein. So I will show it to you guys next time because it's not right in front of me. But that's, like I said, that's all, folks. And go out there, guys, make something beautiful, and we'll see you next time. Bye.